All right. Welcome, everyone. I just wanted to make this quick announcement before we got underway. Due to some differences in work ethic, me and my original co-host have parted ways. Instead, I am now joined by one of my former castmates. So if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Daryll Nezmo, and I used to play Andy in Skew Bridge.
And he also actually edited the first 36 episodes as well.
I did. I gave my life and blood to the show.
So it'd be good to get the editor's story on how some of how these first 36 episodes were made. Let's us get underway without any further ado. Pause this right away because I actually did some digging and I actually found the location of this bridge, this particular Skew Bridge, and this is actually in Vane Hill, which is near Liverpool, if I remember correctly.
It is that the photo you're looking at right now. I actually went and took that photograph, so that's one of my photographs. I went down to the actual Skew Bridge and took it. Did some shots as well, and some for fillers in between episodes. I filmed the trains going backwards and forwards and stuff.
Yes, and also I wanted to bring to light to any of the steam train enthusiasts currently in the audience that this particular rail line was actually part of the Vane Hill trials, which, to basically just sum it up for the audience, is basically how we got what we would see as the modern steam locomotive, which is where all the modern trains that we have today descended from.
Well, the first actual picture that comes on each episode, that's a picture of Stevenson's rail trials at Skew Bridge. So what you were saying, Alex?
Basically, yeah. So I just wanted to give that little bit for the steam train enthusiasts in the audience before we got underway and started discussing what was going on here. Before we start discussing our episode. Let us get back underway then.
I was on the way to Manchester on one of them shots on the train. Sorry, just to interject, that was at my mum's house. She had an old phone, so I just smashed it up.
She actually gave you permission to smash the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it all went to a good cause, you know what I'm saying? Same with that the coronation shot as well.
I know, yeah.
Just what you wanted, wasn't it?
So, was I right in my earlier episode where I said it was turned into an Irish pub? Here we are, Coronation. I've actually been to that place. Yeah, it's a shame it shut down.
Wait, it's shut?
Well, I think, yeah, it's changed hands. I think it's like an Irish pub now.
It is. It's an Irish pub now, yeah. It's funny because as the show went on, the actual pub kept losing letters in it, so a bit more rundown and rundown.
Yeah, well, I still like the idea of it.
You can see in the editing a bit, trying to get a little bit more into balancing the light, matching up the light. I mean, obviously this one's like well off, but
Not as well. But yeah, I can see it like it's starting to become a bit less
Is this an art
contrasting,
school?
yeah. So when we started off, really, I mean, I suppose I got the job of editor by default, really, because nobody else wanted to do it. So Jim was just running the classes against a green screen, and he was like, "Can anybody do it?" Well, I'd done a couple of videos on Premiere Pro, so I've got like a Christmas single on YouTube, shamelessly plugging here. But I'd done the video for that and a couple of other videos, so I'd like learned how to use Premiere Pro a little bit. I'd never heard of keying in my life. I'd heard of green screens, obviously everybody had, but I'd never heard of keying before. But God bless YouTube and the internet, because I just went home and quickly learned how to do it, and then that's kind of what happened.
So basically, you're the only person in the cast which actually had even the basic modicum of editing skills.
Yeah, exactly.
So, what could you tell me about some of the earlier days of the show?
Well, Obviously, it started off as like Jim's project to do a bit of on-screen acting for us. Obviously, it was COVID at the time, so we were all a bit like had to, be careful what we did. But because it was educational, he was allowed to stay open. So he decided to run, in each class, come up with a soap. And you've already mentioned this, haven't you? That you were in a different soap to start off with.
Say, was there any particularly interesting stories regarding the first 2 episodes?
We did I don't know if they've included it, but we did an introduction to Skew Bridge. So we did that, and then it was just a case of like finding your way, really. So I tried loads of different backgrounds and things that might look all right. I mean, we all know it's a bit dodgy, the backgrounds. It gets a little bit better and stuff, the green screen. But, we had no budget, no anything. We just had Jim's camera and a green screen, and that was it. As we progressed, we got, like, more microphones and got a bit obsessed with sound and, like, lenses and other cameras and things, and tried to make it look as best we could, and gimbals and whatever. But when we first started off, we just had a camera and a green screen. But you watch some of well, maybe not Marvel quite good, but you watch some, well, for example, when they go into Mos Eisley when they redid Star Wars, and that's a multi-million pound film, with the people who invented special effects, and it's just shocking. We had no money, no budget, no anything, so we just thought, well, you know what? Hopefully people get focused on the characters and the show and the storylines. As you know, it was all meant to be, character driven and getting in, not forcing any issues down anybody's throats, just really character driven. That's what we're more focused on than that. And I think it worked because quite a few people I know absolutely loved it, and they loved the actual characters of it. And, you can be forgiven for the dodgy green screen and, it not being color coded and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so that bit there, like where I just pulled my face at Clinty. I mean, that I remember, like Zoe actually told me that her entire family used my face as an emoji in their family WhatsApp. Yeah.
You might be a sticker now in WhatsApp.
Might be a sticker, yeah. Like somewhere out there's the Psychic Gary angry sticker,
Oh,
Oh dear.
Funny thing is, so we used a green screen in the bar, and like Jim's studio's got a bar in it. So it was only like after a few weeks we thought, why have we done this? We could have just used it as it was. So that's when we do the whole, like as though it's being decorated, and then the big reveal, and then the pub turns into. Interestingly, the background here. Me and my wife went on holiday to Bath, and I just set the camera up in a pub and just filmed this pub in Bath, and like to just try and get backgrounds. We're just constantly going round trying to get either a photograph or a moving background, so that it would just work as a background in Skew Bridge.
Yeah, I always thought that these original background pub scenes were actually filmed in the Coronation, but yeah, I didn't know.
No, they're not, and we never went in it. It was closed at the time, actually, so it was closed for years.
It was shut from the beginning.
Yeah, it was never open.
Oh wow, okay. I mean, I knew it was shut, but I never knew it was never open at all. I mean,
no, it weren't. Yeah, that's a pub in Bath. That. I mean, if you look in the background there, it says $6. So that background was some pub that I pulled off the internet. God knows where that is. With going back to Keane, you can see the plants, a green plant. It's just like kind of see-through, isn't it?
Any type in particular?
Yeah, it does make it seem like a cheap plastic.
No, as long as they make me laugh, that's pretty much it.
To the atmosphere of the Coronation.
Yeah, looks like a dead plant. I suppose an issue I had was, what people don't realise is when you key out something, so you're getting rid of a green, and then when you get rid of a green in something, then it changes skin tones and shirts and things like that, so you've got to put all that back into it. But these early days I was just rushing against the clock all week, so my wife had nipped the loo and I'd get a quick like 3 minutes editing him while she was just out, and then she'd go to bed, and I'd be editing, and it was just a rush. I mean, they're only 10 minutes long, but the amount of time that goes into, especially when you're the sole and only editor, the amount of time that goes into editing a scene, it's it takes forever. That background's quite good, isn't it? And that's not in the studio. That's a green screen. That background there.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Now you mentioned it. I mean, actually, for the longest while, I genuinely thought this was literally just filmed on the sofa against the wall of the studio. That's a green screen.
Yes, but only if the person knows it and doesn't have hope.
Impeccable. Wow. But then again, it is just mostly white, so it is a bit easier.
Yeah.
This is before we discovered how to blur the background. You will make dinner with her and you will be open to know her better.
Yeah. It was a massive learning curve, wasn't it? We just had to go a bit further and think, well, maybe. It was like a baptism of fire, really. It was a shame. It was a shame that John left, who played Sean, because he was a good actor, really good actor, and as a character, I thought he was fantastic.
All sorts.
Yeah, I
wasn't there
almost
painting
thought if he stayed, there would have been almost a kind of.
Clint's been looking after things while I've been away.
We did get people come in, and obviously Ian came in, and he was a baddie, and you get people coming in, everybody wanted to be a baddie. Remember at first, everybody wanted to be gay.
Everyone wanted to be gay.
Yeah, everybody's like, my character's gay. And Andrew Jones, who plays Rob, my partner in crime, he was like, come on. There's not that many, it's not going to be 90% of people in this place are all gay.
Yeah, it's a village, but it's not the gay village.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, and then we had people coming in and they were, everybody wanted to be the baddie. So Jim had to come sometimes, put the brakes on. When John, who played Sean, when he went away for a bit and then when he came back, I think he was like, well, I was the original baddie. And then Jim was like, well, you said you kind of said early doors that you work for Clinty, so Clinty's obviously so there's always this. And then Ian came in and he wanted to be the baddie above Clinty. So it was all everybody was on a bit of a power struggle, really. And you're like, it's a drama, it's a soap, kids.
Yeah. To be fair, we had a few good people coming in. Of course, we had Beryl, and then we had Noah, who's going to be up in the next couple episodes.
Fantastic. Yeah, we had everybody in it was great. I watched the one you did the other week about Mr. Swindley. I was always gutted that he never came back into it. It was just he was only on screen for a couple of minutes, but he was just fantastic. I suppose one thing that I probably struggled with was, being an editor, you'll know this, that when you're in the room filming it, you've got in your mind what's going to work in the edit. And when you're pushed for time, so I only edited it on my own computer, and some of the video files were absolutely huge. So sometimes we'd spend ages lights, sound, rolling, scene 3, take 2, and action. But, that 10 seconds at the beginning, it'd be half a gig, something like that. So I was always mindful of right, let's just get it started, get the scene started. But not only that, because as you know, you start to see what works. So when you're filming in the room, you're thinking what'll work in the edit and what won't work. So I always struggled with not really telling people what to do, but if you know what'll work in an edit and what won't, and you're trying to advise people on set. I do think that some of the older people, not the older people, some of the people who've been going to gyms for quite a while,
the more mature individuals.
Well, maybe, yeah. There was one or two. They, I think they thought, who's this guy? Who's he think he is? But it's just because you know what is going to work and what's not going to work. So you try and advise people, because, well, basically, I didn't want to, it was taking over my life anyway, as it was. I don't want it to take over more of my life. But it was great fun, though. Made some good friends.